Good day everyone, welcome once again to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing about the book called As a Man Thinketh, which was written by James Allen. Let's go further and look into the chapters to understand more about the novel. In this chapter, Allen introduces the central idea of the book, which entails a person's thought shape their character and destiny. He emphasizes that the mind is like a garden. What you plant is what you get. Action is the blossom of thought and joy, while suffering are its fruit. We are what we think we are. If our mind has evil thoughts, we will suffer the pain. If our thoughts are pure, joy will follow. In the chapter 2, Allen elaborates on how thoughts influence the conditions and circumstances of a person's life. The human mind may be likened to a garden which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. In this chapter 3, Allen explains the connection between thought and physical well-being. Thoughts of fear have been known to kill a person as speedily as a bullet, and they are continually killing thousands of people just as surely, though less rapidly. Allen explains to us that the people who live in fear of disease are the people who get it. He explains that anxiety quietly demoralizes the whole body and lays it open to the entrance of diseases. While impure thoughts, even if not physically indulged, you soon shatter the nervous system. Strong, pure and happy thoughts build up the body to vigor and grace. Mainly, Allen is arguing that the body is a reflection of the mind, and a person's mental state has a direct impact on their health and vitality. In this chapter, Allen emphasizes the importance of having a clear and a definite purpose in life. They who have no central purpose in their life fall an easy prey to petty worries, fear, trouble, and self-pitying. All of these indicate weaknesses. He advises that we should make purpose the centralizing point of our thoughts. In the chapter 5, Allen discusses how thoughts are the foundation of all achievements. Allen entails that all we achieve and all we fail to achieve is the direct result of our own thoughts. He went further to entail that our weakness and strength, purity and impurities are our own and not another. In the chapter 6, Allen highlights the transformative power of having strong visions and lofty ideas. He explains that composer, painter, poet, prophet, sage are the makers of the afterworld. He argues that dreams and inspirations are the seeds of greatness, and all significant achievements begins with a vision in the mind. A person becomes what they consistently imagine and strive for. And coming to the chapter 7, Allen focuses on seniority as the pinnacle of a well-disciplined mind. He describes serenity as the result of mastery over one's thoughts and emotions, achieved through self-control, wisdom, and inner peace. Lastly, calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. Moving over to the second part of the book, Poverty to Power. And the first chapter in the book explores the nature and purpose of suffering and challenges in human life. Allen entails to us that what we are, so is our world. Everything in the universe is resolved into our own inward experience. He also explained that evil and hardship exist to teach important spiritual lessons, guiding individuals toward self-discovery, self-mastery, and the inner growth. He emphasizes that suffering is not arbitrarily excuse me. He emphasizes that suffering is not arbitrary, but is the result of ignorance, selfishness, and harmful thoughts or actions. The second chapter, Alan emphasizes that the external world is a reflection of an individual, inner thoughts, and mental attitudes. Alan explains that circumstances, whether good or bad, are not random but are shaped by one's mental and emotional states. The third chapter, Alan provides guidance on overcoming negative circumstances by changing one's mindset and actions. Every condition of life is based up in the orderly and harmonious sequence, and the secret and cause of every condition is contained within itself. Alan also explains this with the law which states that whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap, and it is inscribed and flaming. Talking about the chapter 4 of the poverty to power, Alan tries to explain this chapter as it focuses on the profound influence of thought in shaping one's life and character. Alan explains that thoughts are powerful, creative forces that silently works to shape circumstances and characters. Negative and undisciplined thinking leads to chaos and failure, while positive, focused, and virtuous thinking leads to harmony and success. Moving over to the chapter 5, Alan entails that it explores how mental harmony and self-mastery leads to physical health, personal success, and inner strength. Alan also explains that true health and power comes from a calm, disciplined mind, free from worry, fear, and negative emotions. Thought of joy, courage, and goodwill promotes vitality and success, while negative thought drains energy and leads to failure. The 6 focuses on the idea that true happiness comes from within rather than from external possession or circumstances. It teaches us that true happiness does not depend on external circumstances, possessions, or achievements, but arises from inner peace in a virtuous mind. Qualities are like kindness, selflessness, love, and gratitude are essentials for experiencing lasting happiness. And the part 2 of the poverty to power, which is the way of peace. The chapter 1 in it explains that meditation fosters self-awareness and inner tranquility. It also talks about the transformative role of meditation in achieving clarity. To Alan, he explains that meditation is a tool for self-discovery and self-mastery, enabling individuals to align their thoughts with truth and higher principles. Moving over to chapter 2, it talks about the conflict between self-centered desires and the truth. It explains that no one can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other, because man cannot serve God and mammon. Self is the denial of truth, and truth is the denial of self. the perfect state of truth. If we let ourselves die, we will be reborn in truth. But as we cling to self, truth will be hidden from us. The third chapter talks about the process of attaining spiritual strength through self-mastery and alignment with higher principles. Alan explains that it is only when the paucity is tamed and subdued by the high intelligence that real power begins, and that people can only grow in power by awakening their self to higher and ever higher states of intelligence and consciousness. Chapter 4 talks on the transformative power of love when it is freed from selfishness. It is only by passing through human love and human sufferings that divine love is reached and released. All human love are perishable, but there is a love that is imperishable and that does not cling to appearance. People clinging to self and to the formless shadow of evil are in the habit of thinking of divine love as something belonging to the God who is out to reach divine love. Cannot be known until self is dead, for self is the denial of love. Moving over to chapter 5. The chapter elaborates the concept of spiritual transcendence and the attainment of inner peace through connection with the infinite or divine. Alan explains that by overcoming the limitations of the ego and material desire, individual can experience a higher state of consciousness where they are in harmony with the external and universal truth. Chapter 6 talks about the importance of selfless service as the highest expression of spiritual growth and fulfillment. The spirit of love that is manifested as a perfect and rounded life is the crown of being and a spirit and the supreme end of knowledge upon this earth. Another chapter talks about the achieving of absolute inner peace through spiritual growth and mastery of the mind. Alan explains that peace is the conquer of love of self and lust of life, to tear deep-rooted passion from the heat and to still the inward strife. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.